Hi, my name is Fiona Faila, and today we're talking about how do we react when something happens. So when something positive happens, we're smiling, we're laughing, we're full of excitement, our mood is positive, our faces have a smile on it, we have a smile from ear to ear. Sometimes we have tears of joy when something good happens to us. But what happens when something not so good, something bad happens? Our shoulders slump, we feel terrible, we're not smiling, we're sad, we can have tears, but not of joy. Our whole mood changes because we're upset. Sometimes we can even feel scared when we have a negative emotion. We don't feel so good. But how can we change it? How can we change the emotion? How can we change the experience into one that is more positive or to neutralise it? That's really important. Our lives are made up of positive and negative, of dark and light. There's polarity in our lives. The opposites are what makes our experiences. They make up our temptations and they help us decide what we want in life. If we can neutralise the negative experience to one of no emotion, no attachment, we can acknowledge it and understand it, and maybe we can learn something from it as well. Sometimes we can even view it as a positive experience, a negative one, because it may have taught us something that we may not have learned if our life was all full of positive experiences. The negative experience may not have been pleasant, but maybe it's priceless of what it's teaching us. Once initial emotions from the experiences have subsided, then we have to really review it. I'll give you an example of an experience. Say you've gone for a performance review at work and it wasn't so glowing because something happened in a project that you were in. But what happened in that project wasn't your fault. It was somebody else's fault. But maybe you were responsible because you're the team leader. And you had to cop the flack, unfortunately, for what happened. So what would you do if that happened? Or an experience similar? As I say, this is just an example of one so we can go through the motions. You've got the first choice. You can review the experience, you can review what happened in your performance review, and you can say, why me? Poor me. Oh my gosh, why? This always happens to me. Why me? That is your choice to have that attitude. Why me? Poor me. But what if I say you can learn something from that? What about if you took this situation when you reviewed it and said, what was it that it was trying to teach me? How can I make my performance review next time better? If I added new procedures around the project, would this be better? Would this have stopped the issue from happening and affected my performance review? Maybe you need to have a checklist. And that checklist, when you're handing out jobs for people to do, now that you know that that person may not be capable of doing what you gave them originally, well, maybe you need to modify it. It could be something that happened that you may need more discernment around that member, that team member, to protect your position. You have to sit down and work out what it is that happened. What is it? Why did it happen? What can you do to make it better? What can you change? You can look at it that this performance review, you can be thinking, lucky it happened now. What happened if it happened in 2 years' time or 3 years' time? The same performance review happened because you didn't learn what it was that you needed to learn previously in that position? Would it be worse having this happen 2-3 years later? If you can look at what happened and say, right, I can make these changes to make it better, that is so invaluable to you now that you are more valuable as a team member, as a team leader, because you've learnt for next time and you've learnt what to do and you can do it better than before. After you review what actually happened, you need to then ask yourself, have I learnt everything here? If you have, then it's time to move on. Don't hang on to it. Don't look at that team member with crooked eyes all the time and thinking, oh my gosh, you got me into trouble. You can look at them and think, you know what? Oh, thanks for doing that. I know what to do next. I can protect myself. I can give you only jobs that you're capable of doing. And then this other project that I was going to give you this position for, I might modify it, because then you can show that the person, the team member, is doing the best that they can do, and then they will shine as well, and that in turn will make you shine. So it's just about looking at what you can do to move forward. And move forward. Don't hang on to what just happened. We need to move forward, because things happen all the time. The negative things always happen in our lives, but we need to move on. We need to move on to positive. And say this happens again. Is it then you have to then think about maybe you didn't put the right procedures in place that time, and revisit it and shake things about to change it. So these are the tiny things that you can do. Some say this is looking at life through rose-coloured glasses, and maybe it is. But isn't it better being laughing and smiling and enjoying your time here on this earth than looking at everything through maybe dark glasses of being unhappy? It can help you live your life in a better frame of mind. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any other comments or other topics that you would like to hear, please put them in the comments below. Like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks. Bye.